the exclusive for 11H.
Would
That's
you
it.
go- That's it.
You
There
liked
it
it, I'm
is.
sure, obviously.
What, being shot in the hole?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah.
obviously.
It wouldn't.
I mean, if anybody had a gaydar, it would be you and I.
Have you ever heard of the game Cornhole?
No. Oh!
Okay, so it's a
yeah,
game,
my
right?
son loves that. It's like the board on an angle and you throw the bag in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, my son loves that
And
shit.
it's a really fun game to play.
No, it's
so
not.
they like to, well, it depends if you're drunk.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that's oh, there you go.
If you're drunk or high.
Every time I play it, I'm not drunk, and I'm like, this fucking sucks.
This is a dumb game.
Yeah, what's wrong with
for
you?
kids.
Yeah, my son has no excuse. He was not under the influence at all. He was into it all night, playing with like grown adults that I found to be
boring.
I like them
Was
less.
this a school function by
No,
any chance?
it was in the sand, in the desert, where everybody drinks in the desert and they jump cars in the day.
Oh.
And then I realized I was in the wrong group because at night time my group played fucking sandbag ball with 8-year-olds. Which at the time worked out for me because I had my 8-year-old there, and I'm not partaking in any other fun. But as a band that has experienced some nighttime fun, I remember thinking, "Fuck, man, sandbag section. I'm in the sandbag board."
Well, I get into sandbags. Depending on how you hold them, carry them, and throw them, they can be a lot of fun, which I'll show you later. But when I was on Regis...
Yeah, you sound like you're on Regis right now. Sandbag, it can be a lot of fun. Here's what I recommend. Do sandbags with every fucking sand, like it's so bad.
If you were watching us live, I would be able to find a way to get you to enjoy cornhole.
Yeah, well, you can look. I can be live.
Oh, you can be live.
I'm live right now.
Oh, you're live, but you're not. Well, you can't see us, and I didn't come prepared with the cornhole beanbags.
Oh, okay. Well, then you can't show.
I'll bring them as a present to you next week.
I don't know.
Here's the good news.
What is the news?
And it's not Regis, and I think Regis was years ago. But Ryan and Kelly, play cornhole once in a while. But the gorgeous thing about being on their show, and Kelly and I have been friends for a long time, is that they asked what I was doing that I really care about, and I'm so glad that it got back to your sweet ears because they actually gave me the opportunity to say we were doing a show called Love and Hate, and according to you, some people listened, so they want to listen, eh?
No, it was big. You did some stuff. People told me about what's going on with Love and Hate and how successful is this show, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
What show? Because we never
What
get to
show?
do it.
Yeah. Who's Anne H?
Exactly. I'm never asked who you are, Jason, by the way. And when we had a moment of
I was saying, as in you've forgotten, I've lost you.
No,
That's what I meant.
well, what you can
Like, at one
understand is
point
that
we were
you haven't,
together,
because I'm out there still
No,
talking about how I love you.
No, you've made the show 10 times bigger. We don't even need to do this. We could just take photos and check out our 6 episodes that we ever did, and just keep playing them over and over again on the weekend.
That must be what they're doing, because yesterday my agent sent me a picture and it said that we were on Faction, so they're airing the ones that we've done.
Yeah, we should do more.
And so that's why I'm sitting here. I know, and I'm going to come on your show this afternoon. I'm bringing you a guest.
Pretty gnarly, Hollywood, that you've come here and done this.
I'm
to my house. Nobody wants to come to my house.
I'm at your house and I'm looking at. Thank you so much, Katie. She's
Katie,
so
I can't make
cute.
YouTube work. Come on.
And you are sitting on a throne. I have to tell you, I am at your house.
She's my executive producer of Ellistronics. She helps
did.
with the podcast. That's my podcast. But she also is executive producer of Love and Hate. She just took that job.
Oh, she did? You know what? If there was one person I would offer it to, it would be Katie.
Well, that's great. I'm sure everybody who actually does the real work, no offense to Katie, will be super pumped on that. You know what I mean? The Andrews and the Kevins.
My point of view is I'm looking at a whole bunch of axes, knives, and shit on the wall.
Weapons.
These weapons.
I'm a weapon.
Sitting in a chair with skull heads surrounding me. He's like on a king's throne. The most gorgeous girl in the world, Katie, is trying to figure out our Jasontronics from what I've found out.
And she fixed the YouTube thing.
She's on A-OK. She's A-OK. She's now our executive producer, which I'm thrilled about.
Got a great ass, too.
I have to concur.
Nice titties. Wait.
So I know I've missed you, but I have been shooting.
No, you've been very busy. Yeah.
And it's going very well.
Yeah.
When I knew that I have to bring you, and I know that we want to get up and going, and I know we want Love and Hate to go, and it never dies in my mind. We are going to now every week set up so that I can do this show from my studio.
In Albuquerque?
And then in Albuquerque, and
Yeah.
then I will be back in January, and I hope by that time we'll be able to be live going into a place where we want to go. We got to get some, so I'm committed. I've always been committed to it.
Yeah, I know. You got to do a job, your real job.
But if I'm popular on my real job, it makes it better, easier for people to listen to
No,
the show.
as I've already stated and realised that you bet, just do like 3 more and we can play that for 6 more months while you go.
No, we won't bore you with six more months of nothing.
You know, I pitched my TV show the other day.
Well, can you tell me? You didn't pitch it to me first?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I only saw the sizzle reel for the first time in the pitch.
Well, can you explain it to me?
It was really good. It was really good. They liked it, and they're talking to the person that heard the pitch is talking to the higher ups about the budget for doing something like this. So there is not a yes or a no, and I have to wait yet another couple of days to find out.
Well, can you tell me what the vision is?
It's a vision about a guy that looks like me and has been through the stuff that I've been through, that lives a weird life where there's a lot of damage and danger and stuff, but mainly goes home and hangs out with his kids and his wife and does stuff that you don't think he does, which is just all the shit I do. You know what I mean? Like hang out at home and, tell kids what to do and feed dickheads and shit like that. They think that's really weird.
Wait, tell people what
that
you
was
do.
the bit they liked the most.
What feed dickheads? I don't get it.
Yeah, but like feed my children, be a soccer ref and stuff like that. Like they think that stuff's the good stuff. So
it's about your real life.
It's a docuseries. Yeah,
it's a docuseries. Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that, well, it is, that's why, well, I love you, but it's why you are fascinating, because you are a dad, and you're a multi-dimensional human being, you have goals, and you have visions, and you don't play by the vest, and that's what's all appealing about you. Of course we want to see that. That's an inspiration. That's part of why I'm doing the show with you.
Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes just because you're like that doesn't mean that you get a TV show, though. You know that.
Well, no, it's not a given, but I say you're pretty fascinating. I wish you the best of luck.
I mean, look, everybody thinks I'm pretty fascinating. They always tell me I should pitch a TV show. It's just when it gets to the point where I wanted to pitch a TV show so that I could be as famous. And this has, once again, you are the proof of my plan from the get-go of doing this radio show. When I started and wanted to be successful, I realized that at SiriusXM, no offense to them, but if you're not famous, you're not going to get anything.
It's difficult.
Okay, it's difficult, but let's say,
difficult to exchange
Chico,
money.
come here.
What?
Chico's under the table.
That could be thought of as a lot of things, but I know you know Jason. I know you know that's his dog.
Yeah.
Chico's under the table is not code word for something that.
Didn't think of that. Yeah. No. Her pants are on, and I don't call it her chickle.
At least not yet.
Yeah. But yeah, there was people that I knew got channels, or they got paid millions of dollars to have a show that they barely did because they were famous people. So then I had the plan of, I already had been successful at skateboarding, so if I get famous, get a TV show for being a action-packed moron, then that'll make me sort of fake. Because I remember Bam got paid a lot of money to have a show, and he wasn't good on the radio. He was just Bam.
Yeah.
And they wanted him on the channel.
Right.
So I had the plan of, if I get a TV show and I'm really famous on TV, then they'll just pay me a bunch of money regardless of, because it seemed to me that I'd say after about 5 years of doing the show, I was in the top 3 people talking on the radio.
Right.
So it was only a matter of time before people figured that out. But you don't get the word out because no one's going to promote it. They're going to promote Jamie Foxx, who has a channel, and he's not even on it. He just has a channel.
Right.
But I get it because it's Jamie Foxx. And you all know Jamie Foxx. You don't all know me. Like Jamie Foxx could probably do what you've done. I witnessed it. We weren't doing any shows, and they were like, if you're not going to do any shows, we've got to do something in that time block. And I'm like, yeah, we'll think of something. And then you go on that show and talk about it. And now they want you to do another year of shows. Because you instantly made this show, somebody found out in New York. Whatever you did,
yes.
New York found out.
Yeah.
And now it makes me look good. They're like, wait, Jason's friends with Ann, and Ann wants to hang out with Jason and still do a show? That's excellent. You said SiriusXM on television, and I'll never get, and that's the other thing, I'll never get on there. I was almost on, because I had the New York Times best-selling book. I was booked for what's the morning show in New York? Friends and something in Friends?
I'm bigger than that. I don't do those.
It's a really big show. I'm like, you've been on it for sure. Anyway, some morning show, and then when they found out who I was in the show, they cancelled me like in the morning.
Well, listen, it's very hard to get when I look at publicity tours. I'm given 5 minutes, right? Basically, if I'm going to go on live with Kelly, I have a basically 5-minute interview.
Okay.
There are 4 questions that everybody asks. If you're famous on a show, they're going to ask you about your show. They're going to ask you about your co-stars. They're going to ask you about why you decided to do it, and they're going to ask you what my future is, right? I've got 4 shows, and I consider that I have about 5 minutes to do it. Talking to you for an hour, talking to anybody for an hour when I first met you, why we became partners in doing Love and Hate, is because you very rarely get to hear or know a person. You have such a small opportunity to promote what you want. For me to be able to be in the position to be able to say, first of all, to be doing a radio show with you, as you know, I think is a miracle. Second of all, that we do it in our commitment, even though I'm shooting a TV show, you shoot a show every single day. We're in 2 different states. We've stayed connected because what we think we're doing is important. I understood that opportunity that I've been building for 20 years, by the way, during publicity, is to be able to promote something that you want to promote for yourself. Yeah. Something that you believe in. That's an earned position because nobody will let you take the time to be able to really speak your mind. And that I give a lot of credit to Kelly, who is and has been a friend and a supporter of the things that I do for my heart and my soul. Yeah. She's the one, and those producers are the one who gave me the opportunity to be able to say that I was doing Love and Hate with Jason Ellis on SiriusXM. They are the ones who said, and it took me, and I'm not fucking with you, 20 years to be able to earn that position. Right. So as you build the respect in the community, I've been on live with Kelly maybe 20 times. I've never once promoted something of my own. So it's about timing. It's about the ability to understand the gifts that I've been given in the world now is that people want to hear my voice, so they also want to know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking to that I care about. Yeah. It's just building your blocks of, it's not that you're never going to be on that show. That's not true. I wrote a bestseller too, but people didn't bring me on their talk shows to talk about it. It's a part of the building. That book and the reason that you did it and your voice being so clear is a part of why you're going to be on those morning shows, is a part of why you're going to have a TV show, whether it's a reality show or not. You are building your direction in your life and people want to listen because you're careful and you're meaningful in how you do it. You're going to get a TV show. We're going to go, if this impact from one TV show of me saying that gave us the opportunity for Sirius to pay attention to us and say, okay, let's do it. Screw it, man. Next year, we'll both be on that show talking about what we're going to do.
I know, right?
So all of those possibilities are open. I'm actually genuinely pleased that information got, because sometimes I have to send you like smoke signals. Like, I'm still here. We're going to do this. I moved back in January and we're going to be able to do it every week.
Do people ask you offensive questions on TV?
Never.
They never ask you the weird, like the lesbian, any of that stuff?
Not anymore, which is also the
But it did happen.
Oh, of course.
Because for a while there would have been, that's every question, right?
Late night shows and morning shows are very different. The audiences are very different. Who they go after is very different. In a morning show with Kathy and Ryan, or Kelly and Ryan, sorry, they want to talk to their audience, so they're not going to bring up. First of all, I've also earned the respect. They're not going to bring up something that is going to make me uncomfortable. They're actually going to take the time. So I was telling you, there's 4 questions basically. Before, one of them used to be a question that would instigate something negative in me. Okay. And then they would watch the reaction because that's what was interesting to watch about Anne H. Right. She was so outrageous we could ask her that question, and if I shifted uncomfortably or anything else, they could talk about it. Now that extra minute, do you know what they gave it to me for? What I want to do right now in my life. Rather than make me uncomfortable, what were those decisions and choices that I made that led me to where I am, that I'm doing the art that I want to do? With you, baby.
So, that's fast.
So that's, you know, but in the nighttime show, I mean, fortunately, I feel like there is actually a shift because people don't talk to me about the things that, not that I don't want to talk about uncomfortable things, I do, but they're not trying to make me uncomfortable to get to difficult conversation. Do you know what I mean? That's not the intention, and that's what it used to be.
We can take calls now. We can take questions now because we're live on YouTube. But someone just said, why does Alice want to be mainstream so bad? I don't want to be mainstream. I don't want to be mainstream.
Yeah, explain the difference between mainstream and what you want to do, because I agree with people too. What it sounds like, and I may be misunderstanding the question, what it sounds like a lot is that you're trying to exchange who you are, and the money payback is going to be the thing that makes you feel like you've made it.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like I made it.
I just want what is it?
I want security.
Security.
Yeah.
But you make a living doing a radio
But
show.
you never know with this stuff.
But you never know with a TV show.
Yeah,
That's not going to be
but it makes, if I want to make enough money to put money away so that when things happen like a big radio guy gets fired and
Yes.
he's been in radio for 20 years and he's like, cool, bye. I don't want to be, we're moving on, you're fired, and I'm like, oh fuck, I can't even pay.
Right, you want to
like,
establish security for yourself. I totally
so
get
that, so, and I don't think people realize, I mean, I guess I do make a lot of money now, but it's only just now, like this year's the first time I've made like what I would call a lot of money from Sirius.
Yeah.
So.
And do you have any established future with them? Do you have
a
5-year contract?
Look, it does. No, it's a year-to-year contract.
A year-to-year. Okay.
And it's for a lot of money, but it's still, and everyone seems to love the show. I just talked to the boss this morning. The show's doing bigger than ever.
Well, it's fantastic.
But that doesn't. I just don't believe. I think that's the way I'm built. I can't believe that that's just. Oh, then I'll just live from.
I'll count on it.
Yeah, I'll count on it. I got kids. Everybody counts on me.
Of course.
So I feel like, and I don't want to be in this for much longer, as in the race of trying to be popular and stuff. I just am trying to. I think people get it mixed up with me. I don't care about you saying I'm number one. I care that my bosses know that I'm number one, so that when my contract comes up, that they give me way more money.
Yeah.
Because
right.
I mean, like I kind of, I get a raise every time I get a deal because my show gets bigger every time I get a deal. That's
right.
I've always forced them to give me a 1-year deal because I know that in 1 year my show doubles every time, and they have to keep paying me. If they gave me a 2-year deal, that's just 1 year I miss out on getting a raise as far as I'm concerned. And they've always known that because they fight to give me more years.
Right.
But at this point, there was a certain amount of money where I wanted to make, and now I make, to me, if it just stays here, I can make that work for my kids and for everybody for the rest of my life. But it can't go back.
Right.
And really what it should do, is it should go forward because the show gets better, the show gets bigger, so the contract should get bigger every year as well. That's what I believe should happen. But I can't bank on that.
Well, you can't count on that because
show,
you can't count on anything to
but if you did
that's going to be stable for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but if you make a hit in television, you make a show where there's an impact, that's another 10 years of stuff that you make from that impact.
Let me be clear with you. That is an incorrect understanding of being on television.
Okay.
For example.
Yeah.
I was on a TV show for 2 years. It looked like it was going to go to 10.
Yeah.
There was a writer's strike. They consider that a force majeure, which means they don't have to honor your contract because it's an act of God or an act of nature.
See?
Which means
it took it away, right?
My show got off the air.
That's terrifying.
I spent the money, okay, of course, because I was under contract.
Yeah.
There's no way. What did I think? I was going to get hit by a bolt of lightning? If I did, nobody would know because I would be gone. Now, I'm just telling you that because those moments when you absorb and achieve.
Oh, no.
I achieved it. Then you're like, oh my God, I spent all my money because I thought I was going to have it for the next 5 years.
I think you misunderstood me. When I said 10 years, I meant like if the show goes for 1 year, I can make money from that impact of that show from other stuff for another 10 years after the show.
In doing what?
Well, if it's not, I wouldn't be just an actor I would be like, if the show's about me. So there's like a company, a clothing line, there's like a whole bunch of
So you're looking for different revenue streams.
Taught.
I think this is interesting for people to understand. You look for sponsorship.
Yeah.
You're going out into a TV show, you're looking for sponsorships like athletes do.
Yeah.
And then I can get that, and then if I nurture that relationship with Nike, I get to...
Yeah, because that's my mentality.
I
come from an athlete's background, so I think month to month. How much you going to pay me month to month? Like I live in that world, and I won't get out of it. Like because that's how I add up how much I make a year.
Got it.
How much you pay me a month? I know from skateboarding that $10 grand a month. That's good. 20's crazy.
Yeah.
And then on. Those are the deals that I look at, and that's how I add them up.
Well, no, I totally.
Because I know if you get a show, then people pay you to wear their shit.
Well, it's an interesting. I offer you an opportunity, even though I completely understand where your brain goes into work and where you're thinking that revenue is going to come in. Building a show and a relationship with an audience through working on television is imagined as a whole different stream. Okay, so yeah, you may be able to wear those shirts, you may be able to have those contracts, blah blah blah. That might happen with you being on the show because it's a reality show. But what I want to offer you to build is the opportunity that once you're on TV, what you're doing is reaching a bigger audience, and what you're building is the revenue stream that is your brain, that is your belief, that is your point of view, that is your consciousness, that is your meaningfulness to what and who and how and why you are speaking and why you think it's important. And I think if you offer your fans or people who are listening a balance of opportunity to hear not only, I want to do this TV show because yes, it makes me be able to take care of my family. Yes, it gives me security. Yes, nothing was given to me and I want to give that to my children. All of the things that you believe. If you can offer in balance why you want to talk about the things you want to talk about, who you are, what your gaining power is if you're in.
I mean, that's always the same story's always been the same.
Soul through television. But and that is a consistent stream of revenue, not monetarily necessarily, but it does earn, after years and years of doing it, respect, trust, love that gets you on those shows and that gives you the bigger contracts. That's what I'm learning, and I know you have that opportunity.
Respect and love doesn't come from TV or contracts.
Respect and love comes from who you are and what you represent every single second of your day.
I don't have
whether you're doing it on TV, whether you're doing it on the radio, or whether you're doing it when you're doing a fundraiser and you're standing on TV.
I made up my mind a long time ago what I stand for, and everybody knows that.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm a piece of shit that turned it into something. I'm not a piece of shit anymore.
You're
I
not
had
a
no
piece of
chance, and now I got all the chances in the world.
Right.
So if I can do it, you can do it.
Right.
That's what I stand for.
Right, and that's what your TV stands for, and your consistency in that is your building of the internal system that says I'm worth something, and that's more important. It's different than the other way of building your consciousness and your creativity and your self-worth. But it is as important because that's what we want to continue to see, that I don't even learn how to heal, but I keep going and I keep growing and I keep asking myself to be bigger, and I keep asking myself to give more, and I keep asking myself to sit in a position where I have this lines of communication for the kids that I want to talk to.
You give a lot now, more than ever. That seems to be a thing that you're into a lot.
I realize...
Have you always been like that?
My life is here to give. I want to live a life of giving. I want to give as big as I live.
All right.
And the more that I realize that I'm if I get rid of the unnecessary crap in my head, to tell you the truth, it leaves room for a whole bunch. If I don't argue anymore, if I step out of conflict, if I take the time to say, is this what is appropriate? All of a sudden space opens up, just like on the talk shows. All of a sudden there's a chunk of time that Ann has that is not dealing with negativity, and it opens up to positivity. I raised $45,000 for Puerto Rico. I swear to God, we will do one together. I'm going to do one in Newport Beach on the 10th of December at the Palisades Tennis Club. Asking people to put their money in their hearts and give them a funnel and a purpose was extraordinary. And I'm sorry that you couldn't come to that one, but now I realize I'm going to do them all over. Giving is an opportunity to show that you love and you're here to receive. And I'm really grateful that people came to CrowdRise and donated for Puerto Rico. I'm going to keep on doing more.
I'm giving... Betsy gave $10,000 to Puerto Rico.
Amen.
From Alice Mania, and
great.
I'm giving $10,000 to the Tony Hawk Foundation.
Fantastic.
Just always safer that way.
Awesome.
Awesome. Skateboarding gave me everything, so I give back to skateboarding.
I you know what? And everybody, we're all one. That's what I say. It's one family. One family.
Oh man, I'm looking on here, and there's this weird YouTube guy that just wants to talk about these other channels. You got to stop, dude. Like we don't care about everybody else on the channel. Everybody has shows they want to have. We have shows. I mean, we have Love and Hate. Nobody's stopping us from doing that. The Tully Show. Nobody can stop anybody from doing anything. We do what we want over here. We're having fun doing the radio, and I know what you're about. I've seen your YouTube channel. You're just about drama, right? And we don't care. We're just having too much fun. I got a fucking pool in the backyard. I'm gonna do a talk for a couple hours. Then I'm gonna go back and swim in my swimming pool. Then I'm gonna have some lesbians come over.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, and then let's get to the good stuff. Enough about raising money for Puerto Rico.
I'm taking them to a birthday party.
Lesbians?
Yeah. They're our best friends.
Live. Sometimes I catch that you're on live. Do you ever?
I wouldn't go live for when we go back to the pool, but I'll go live from other on the streets.
Yeah, like I see you in your car driving around, and I'm like,
yeah. Oh, you are? I don't. Well, so I gotta drive, so I don't look at it all the time.
Well, good. That's good. That's what I texted you. Like, what the fuck are you doing looking at this?
Yeah.
But wait, you're going to a lesbian birthday party? Well,
yeah. Well, it's one of my. I shouldn't say sure they're lesbians, but what? It's just.
Wait,
I don't really. Yeah.
In the studio?
Wait, I think you know. No, that's Kelly.
Oh.
She's not a lesbian.
Oh, she told me.
Well, no, she's gay when she's drunk. Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah. She'll have sex with everybody if she's drunk. But you
Right,
gotta know that she's got a boyfriend and that she doesn't actually want to have sex. She's just really drunk.
Yeah, she's really drunk and just.
So I've never done anything with her.
Yeah.
And she's always. I've been in situations where it probably looks like I'm gonna, but I'm not. I'm just carrying her to the bed. Like I'm not.
Well, I'm carrying her to the bathroom,
right.
so I understand.
It does come across.
But it looks like we were going to do something in the bathroom.
She comes across like she might just.
Yeah.
Let you bang her, but
no,
you don't.
No,
we know better because we've made.
It wasn't tempting.
People have taken advantage of us, and we don't take advantage of people that we can take advantage of.
Oh my God, can you imagine in a million years? Nor do I find sloppy sex with somebody who's drunk and won't remember appealing on any level.
Isn't it weird that you don't do that, and neither do I, even though everybody did it to us, and there's isn't there some sort of track history where a lot of people, when that happens to them, they end up doing it to others?
Well, I think, yes, because you have to break the cycle. You have to be bigger than it.
I know, but it's weird that,
It's very, very difficult to be bigger than
it. Seems to be rare that people
Harvey
break
Weinstein
it.
stuff, as you know, the story is coming out. Of course I have a story with Harvey Weinstein.
You do?
Doesn't, of course.
Wait, so you know about this guy?
There's nothing appealing about having Harvey Weinstein stand in front of you in his robe with his dick.
Wait, he did the robe dick thing to you?
Robe dick.
Come on!
Just say hashtag robe dick.
Did he really?
Wait,
was it like a,
By the way, I haven't said this to anybody
on.
before. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't talked to any press. I wrote my story. I wrote about it anonymously and called me crazy. This is a story that happens over and over, but I have to tell you, the will that I had was definitely born of my sexual abuse. Some girls can't get out of it. I was such a bully. I was such a protector of myself that there was no way anybody. I don't know if I didn't have that strength, what would have happened if I were in that room. I don't judge how far it went with others, and I don't judge the ones who walked out.
Wait, you freaked out?
I didn't freak out. I got up and walked out, though.
But it was because we talked about this, like, because I kept bringing up that he had the robe on a lot, and me and Tully were trying to figure out. Did he have clothes on, and then the next minute he appears in the robe?
No, he goes back to the bathroom. And now I'm
did he have the robe on from the start?
No, he meets.
So he had a suit on and shit.
Fully clothed.
And then he goes to the bathroom.
He excuses himself, and comes back with his robe on.
Are you by yourself?
Yes. That's what I find very. I don't know how time after time, and people are repeating this, and I don't even want to have the same story. By Friday, when I wrote what my story was, by Monday everybody was coming out. It's like. In the sea of talking about Me Too, Me Too, Me Too, it's that I want to support the strength of the women who are going through it and dealing with it in their way. I want to talk about the end of it, the hope for it, but I'm not sure. I think people live in a conundrum. Like, it's a very difficult decision to make when you're 21 or 22 or 23. Forget it, 33, 34-year-old actress. You're sitting in a room with somebody telling you you're going to be a starlet and that they're offering you a job if you only suck dick.
Wait, he didn't say that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Wait,
sir.
so he goes.
There's many manipulations. My story is similar, and
so you were like on the couch or whatever, and he's like, "I'll be back in a minute." And you having a drink, obviously, right?
No, I don't think. I'm sure there's some kind of.
Is this daytime?
It's daytime.
And he disappears for a little bit and comes back in the robe.
Yep.
And is the dick? Is it tied up or is it open?
No, it's open.
My God, is he hard?
No.
So he just comes in. So he's done this. It comes across like he's done this.
In fact, I don't know how he produced any movie because the amount of girls that are coming out against him, it's so extraordinary. Like, it seems like it was a revolving door all day long, every single girl that he ever met. And so I'm shocked that Miramax ever made any movies because I don't know how he had the time.
So he comes out and says, "If you want the parts, you've got to suck me off." Or was it like?
It's not that. It is a negotiation like any of the most manipulative type you could ever imagine.
Have you had another similar meeting like this in your career?
Yes.
With somebody else?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like so people.
I think it's like this goes on all the time. At the time, I was doing a movie with Donald Cammell, and another human being passed away now, gone, but asked me to perform sexual favors on his girlfriend so that I could understand the chemistry that I needed to have with Joan Chen on screen, who was the woman I was working with, and I had a love scene. It happens all the time. The shock. First of all, it's funny to see that your face is shocked. Why did I not do it? And the reason I went into this conversation, why did I not do it? There's no fucking way, having been raped my whole life as a child,
you're gonna do it again.
that I was gonna let nothing Nothing would stand in my way.
So it seems like a lot of times they do that, and then if you say no, you still get the part. Like you still get it. They'll still give you the job. They don't fire.
I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question.
Yeah. Oh, the answer's hell
yeah.
yeah.
I ever worked for Miramax?
I don't know. Did you?
Did I ever work for Miramax?
Did you?
Did I suck dick?
No.
Same answer. I never worked for Miramax.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, that is not to say that other girls didn't do that. I'm not talking about anything otherwise.
Yep,
I know what my story is.
Yep.
No, I did not work for Miramax after I didn't suck his dick.
Gotcha.
Nor did I fondle him, nor did I put my arms around him, nor did I massage him, because the negotiation goes down and down and down. He'll take anything. He'll take anything by the time, and you can imagine him wrestling you down as part of his fun. Can I get a lick? Can I get a suck? Can I get a tip? Can I get just a tip, man? No. And I'm not saying that this negotiation is the same with others. I can't even read all the amount of stories, but I can definitely tell you they're similar, they're more horrifying, they're more disgusting. One is simpler than the other, depending on how much he can manipulate. And I can tell you, he can smell a fucking wild child, which is what I was. Can you imagine? I was perfect. I didn't even have a parent.
Yeah.
And he pulls me in there. He thinks this is easy money, baby.
Yeah.
And from the ashes, I rose out of my sexual abuse. So nobody could ever do it to me again. But my fucking God, that's part of why you and I are doing this show. Like, what, stand up, how do you figure out from this is a situation girls get into, and I don't think it's just the movies. It's banking, it's finance, it's anything, hospital, any rise that a woman has had to have. She has had to confront this on some level. Some level of, will you perform something for me that makes me think you think I'm special? If you do that, I will give you a raise. No matter what, women have confronted it. And, I mean, is this exposure something that will change it? Hopefully it creates a shift. That's why we're hopefully here evolving. And somebody, God damn it, finally, from the New Yorker, got enough people to come out to say it, that she had the strength to do it, because he's been shutting down papers year after year after year after year. Money makes people shut up, and it also makes people talk.
Do you think that there's a casting couch right now that is doing the exact same shit?
I absolutely 100% do. Do I think they're a little more afraid right now? Yeah. Yes. Is that great? Yeah. Yes, I love it. Yes. Yeah. Are they a little bit more? Are they going to be a little more careful? Yeah. Yes. Is Harvey Weinstein the first person to ask a woman to suck his dick for a job? No. Has it been going on for hundreds of years? Yes. Is it good that it's coming out now and people are starting to act horrified? It's like, no, why don't you act horrified before somebody's being sued for sexual assault? And companies are, by the way, I went back to NBC. Guess what? On my table, a huge pamphlet of sexual abuse paperwork that everybody had to sign because it is making an impact. There are ripples going out. Is it going to change things? Even if it shifts a little bit, it's going to be better than what we went through when we were kids. Maybe somebody's going to take a fucking notice of something that's happening to another human being and say, no, I'm not going to let them go up to the room with that sexual predator up in the room, and I know that he's up there, and I won't let that poor girl go up there. Maybe. It's not a one-person deal, you know. It's not that he has this ring of sexual assault and it's all his own. It takes a lot of support to fondle that many women. It takes a lot of support to insult that many women. So, I mean, come on, Hollywood. He says it's behind closed doors. Bullshit. A lot of people knew what was going on. You know?
You alright, Chan?
Yeah, I'm fucking great.
Yeah, look, it's
why
I never
we're
saw
doing
it.
a show so we can fucking talk and say have the strength. Have the strength. How can we help build strength in people so that they don't need to walk into such dark places with no armor?
You got to talk about it, Ann.
I wasn't expecting to talk about it.
I didn't know that happened to you.
Well, you got the opportunity. Of course, I'm on my freaking show with Jason Ellis. I just asked for when the right time would be.
Aren't I supposed to? We should promote that, right? Isn't that like the Ann Hayes talks about her encounter with juicy dickhead fuckface. You know, we get TMZ and tell us about your Sirius XM radio show with Jason Ellis and how you were potentially sexually assaulted. boom, wham, shocking new shit.
If there's a place to talk about it, I guess it's on my own show.
I was telling Jude that the CEO of Sirius wanted me to blow him, and he was like, you know what I mean, but we'll get you out of all this bullshit that you're in. We joked that we would do it. But I also think
that's adult consent
Right.
to suck dick to get rid of a problem.
Right,
No,
right.
that's a negotiation, and I'm fine with you doing sexual favors of your choice.
Thank you for letting me approve, because I would need a friend to be like, look,
I could be
it
there
was
to
a
hug
pretty
you.
sweet deal. I see where you're coming from, that you suck that dick. You've got a channel now. You've got none of the other people connected with you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to like talk to anybody else.
You know, Jason, I have to tell you, I have wondered sometimes, and I'm not shitting you.
Did I suck a dick to get the
wasn't
show?
sexually abused.
Yeah.
If I would look back and go, now what's the big deal? Okay, now you're being, how much money would it take? And because if I didn't have issues because of what was done to me, what really would be my perspective? Like if somebody's, how much money would it take? Like I know I'm not a hooker or a whore, but I don't know if somebody offered me, like for example, a 10-picture movie deal.
Right.
And if I were a conscious human being who could negotiate, I might go, well, hold on.
Right. I mean, we're pretty kinky. Couldn't we see an angle where
Well,
it's kind of hot?
That's what I'm saying. Like
I'm getting the
single,
power, right?
that bad. Like,
Yeah.
And I think that's also. I never let myself even think that way, but now I look back. Or
Yeah, you
maybe
can do it
even
now.
forward. Like if I
That's
look
what we did.
forward, what
Right.
would it take for me if I? People have strange.
Like, what about if I said, look, I'm doing a
movie.
movie and I've got, I've got $100 million that I got because Thomas Hayden Church just thinks that the show's big and we're doing a movie together and
Right.
I want you to be in it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay you, like $80 million to be in it. But you gotta fuck me, like a lot, for like a week.
Really. I love that
You kind of come back for like a week. And I'm fucking you whenever I want to. It's kind of like that's what's going on.
Right, but
I'm
yeah,
we're friendly. Like, I'm not
Yeah, you
beating you or anything, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Right.
But
Here's what you're saying. I mean, if you're not somebody
talk to
necessarily
your boyfriend about it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, everyone sign off on it, and we'll
Is everyone
and
clear?
done deal.
This is the deal.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm
I've been
saying.
eating. I haven't been to the gym that much. I'm not as sexy as I usually am. But you're going to be dealing with this guy for about a week. It's up to you. It's still not forcing
It's
it.
on the table.
Right, it's on the table. You can
It's on
leave
the
it.
table.
Yeah, you don't have to do
I
it.
think that's what I'm curious about. Like how much of my
Yeah.
interaction with men and women throughout my life has been based on, and when we talk about moving on from our past or having it as a meaningful source of our strength, without that component, I might have been a little slutty.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like the amount, I was so adamant about never being or having that feeling again in my body that I didn't have that control sexually. So man, did I become like, how many amazing experiences have I let out of my life because I was so afraid to let anything in.
As a guy that just went for it, I say a lot because there's a lot of great deals there. And if I had been like a sexy girl, then I would have been having way more because my offers were not.
Right, they weren't. It was like $5.
They weren't the greatest angle.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like I'll do you, and I'm like, oh great, of course you will. You do it anyway. And why do you want to do me? You know? It was never like the
They
whole
open
shit.
up their
I
God's
have you for 1 hour. No
Yeah, you're back
Russian
in the car.
model chick.
And pull down your pants.
I must suck you immediately. No Russian hooker, hot chick. I must pay you. No, you have the money. One time I did have sex with a hooker where it was real good, and then she was like, "You should come back to my house," and then we did ecstasy, and I fucked her all night.
Okay.
I get weird that I'm on YouTube. I'm not sure if I can say that, but
What
of course
is
I
it?
can.
Well, so are you saying that you transform from hookerdom into like, hey, this is a date? Like when you go back to the hooker's house, it like becomes a date
Yeah.
rather than just a blowjob.
Oh, we were tight.
Oh. Are you still friends with her?
No, never talked to her again.
Some things were tight.
I was traveling, through the town.
Oh yeah.
So she knew it was like,
Well, also she was a hooker.
it's quick love. You know what I mean? It was,
Yeah. Wang bang.
look, this is so good. I'm taking it for the night, and this, for the rest of the night, it's free.
Oh, that's what
She
it
didn't
was.
say that.
You
though.
don't have to pay per minute.
Yeah. The rest of it was just off the clock. Fun times.
I love it.
I felt glorious about it. I felt like my penis had conquered her into no longer needing money, just my penis. My penis was payment enough.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it was just like she took ecstasy and just like this. I mean, I'll just take this dick for like 8 hours and it'll be great.
And it was great for you too. So there you go.
I had a great time. I felt a true connection, as I said, for like 8 hours.
She's gonna stalk you now.
No, she fell out of love.
Oh.
Just as fast as I did.
Just as you left.
Yeah, I'm not the keeper. That was. We were doing a lot too. I was doing a lot. That was when I couldn't do one E-bomber. I wouldn't do one. If you had one, if you're like, hey, you want to do E? I'd be like, how many do you have?
Oh my God, hilarious.
If you had one, no.
No, it's like, no.
Yeah.
Pop 2 at first.
Oh, yeah.
And then let's see what happens.
Yeah. And then you better have some more.
As long as I have a stash.
Yeah, I probably need like 4 or 5 more.
And prove it. Put them in the bowl.
Because they're going to sailing the night out here. You know?
I don't want to have to ask you either. Could you just put them inside on my own?
Where's the wine? Where's the weight? I mean, everything here. Once it kicks in.
I need to know what my playground is.
Pedialyte.
Yeah. If it's not Pedialyte, it's Gatorade. Like, just can I set out what I need in the fun store?
Gotta do it all. Gotta get it all ready. Everything.
Look in the refrigerator, any dead bodies. You're like, okay, good.
Yeah,
right,
no, you do. You got to make sure because you know the worst feeling ever is when it kicks in and you're out of something. Because you're not
nobody's going to the store.
No.
And you can't figure out how to dial the phone.
You're not getting in it. Yeah. Being so hard that when you're on the phone, for some reason, when the phone works, it's so funny that you can't speak to the person on the other end. That's another one too. When you're like, dude, we just need beer, and we can order it from this guy. We've just got to say, can we have the beer? And for some reason, it's so funny, I can't ask. As soon as I know that I'm going to ask, it just makes me laugh. So he hangs up, and then that's so funny that we keep calling, and then he blocks that number, and we never get beer. Ever.
Blocked for life. You're being the one guy that can bring you something to drink.
I've ordered pizza for like 2 hours and we went through like a chain of pizza delivery places where they just were like, nah, absolutely not, because you guys are such fucking idiots.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because
I want to take ecstasy with you sometimes. You and I did not get past the front door.
You're gonna get a 10 picture deal, Ann. I guarantee you, 10, maybe 20. You're gonna be.
I will be set.
Oh yeah, you'll be set for life. Yeah. That's one of those lock-in payments for life. Weeks.
Oh. What if it were?
I'm gonna have a pool party soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to leave you today. You know?
I got the pool deck now. I moved the mini ramp out of the way. Gonna add a few more things before it looks right. Maybe the wall painted.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna have a real Atmos and beats, and I'm gonna have a pool party where everyone's new.
Oh, naked at the door?
Yeah.
Can you hit it back to see when you arrive?
Yeah, but the thing is, you
might be a little
have to take it with no hand. Well, that's the thing. I'll put it in your butt.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. So
that makes it better.
Well, now that I put it in your butt, it sort of breaks the barrier of any uncomfortable stuff that's happened. By the time you get to the pool, you've already been fingered by Jason in the ass. So, you know what I mean? Like, all bets are off.
Everybody come. Can we make this a fundraiser?
Yeah, like, because when you get up there, you're like, hey, did you get any bother shoved up your ass by Jason? Yes, we did.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, you've never done that?
No.
Why do you have to stand up to do the show?
I don't know. I have a hard time sitting down. Wait, hi. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. I need to know that this is a thing. Drugs and that bum.
What?
Bum
That's
drugs?
only a 50-minute show.
I get excited.
You're like my 8-year-old son.
Well, what was I supposed to do? You were
Sit
talking
down?
about drugs in the boat.
Oh,
Like,
wait. So are you getting ready for me to insert it? Do you want me to do it right now? I've got some. I'll put it in your butt right now.
Oh my God.
It's not a good way to start a Monday.
I don't think it would be a good rest of the week since I'm supposed to go to New York tomorrow.
Yeah, no. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it might be odd when you have a radio show this afternoon.
Oh, I'd do a terrible show if I was on ecstasy right now.
You do what?
I'd have a terrible show.
A terrible show.
I'd
Well,
have
it
to,
would be funny.
No, it wouldn't, because I'd have to just not come in and get a blanket.
Yeah, and just roll up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, no, that's not a good
That
way to
sounds
do a show. And
terrifying.
I'm coming on your show this afternoon with Ross Lynch. I don't know if this is live, but I am coming on your show with Ross Lynch because my friend Dahmer came out this weekend.
Dahmer came out?
My friend Dahmer, the movie,
Yeah.
based on Jeffrey Dahmer's life. Ross Lynch plays him, and I play his mother.
Oh, wow.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to say to you, because we were going to have this conversation about nurture versus nature, but yes, I play a serial killer's mother, and my point of view on that was, yes, she fucked him over, and it was her fault. So it was the darkest movie I've ever done. It was the deepest I've ever gone. I will never go there again. It was the end of my days doing that. I played my mother.
Oh. When did you do that?
I shot it a year ago, August, and it just came out on Friday night just in 2 theaters to do, and then we're about to release it, which is why I have Ross coming on your show.
Why can't I see it?
I want you.
You never gave it to me?
They never gave it to me. It just came out.
Okay. Are you trying to get me to look at your tits again?
Always.
All right. Well, that was a good move.
Was it good? If you look at
She did a little eye
this is
flick.
my passage. You look at my tits, then you go to Dahmer, and then you see the darkest of days.
Don't make them come out though, because YouTube's against it. I'm serious. They're against boobs. They are.
It's just no boobage.
One move and you're out.
Why would you ever be against?
I blame the Christians. I blame Christianity
That's a big scope of things not to like.
If your boobs come out on YouTube, you're off.
Well, fortunately,
you can be reported
I
for
don't
that.
show my boobs to anybody.
Right. Well, except me.
Except if there's a butt to have to be careful and insert.
Yeah, well, I figure if I'm putting the thing in your butt, I'll probably see your boobies at the same time.
Not necessarily.
Well, in my party imagination, I see it all.
I'm gonna let you take ecstasy, and then I'm gonna imagine.
I'm not taking
imagine you did, and then I'm gonna have a great, and then I'm gonna watch, and then I'm gonna have a show with you about your experience.
I'm not taking any ecstasy. I might take ayahuasca.
What?
Yeah, I might take ayahuasca, and I might do ketamine, like from a doctor, because it's supposed to like help you with addiction stuff.
Oh, good. You take a cat tranquilizer, insert it in your ass.
No, this one doesn't do anything. Maybe it does.
How is it shot into your body?
I don't know.
It's shot into your body.
Dr. Drew Pensky told me about it.
And he said that it would get you off another addiction?
Stop you from having your addictive personality for the stuff, abusive stuff.
During the time that you're on ketamine, you don't think about the other things you're addicted to.
I don't know how it works, and a doctor told me.
It's a cat tranquilizer. Do you know that?
Yes, I used to take it all the time for not curing anything. I used to take it all the time just to be high.
Okay, so if it didn't...
How much time do we have?
If it didn't cure it then, what makes you think it's going to cure you now?
Well, because I didn't take it then the correct way.
With a consciousness? With a point of view?
No, I just took it like drunk and fucking rolled around on the ground like an idiot.
And what makes you think you would do it this time differently? You'd be in the doctor's office?
No, yeah, I don't know. There's supposed to be a different way of taking it. They give it to you a different way where you don't get... I don't think you get high. It just... cures you.
It just cures you.
Oh, man, I swear. That's what Dr. Drew Pensky told me, and I don't know what else to tell you. That's just what happened.
See, this is why we need to be live on TV. You and I
we
need to
Dr.
have
Drew
a TV
Pensky.
show because I need to go to Drew Pensky with you and then watch you get ketamine. And see.
Ooh!
That's what I would love to. That's what I want our shows to be.
50-minute mark? So how many minutes do I have?
It's been 50 minutes.
Right, so what is it, 54 minutes or is it 51 minutes? I think it's 54.
So you have 4 minutes.
I have 4 minutes.
Wait, we could probably do that. We could still probably do that. We don't necessarily need a network to tell us that we have a TV show. We could definitely go out and have our own adventures starting in January and go and see these different things and talk. We could just shoot it. Like, my God, we can do anything.
I'll probably have a TV show by then, so we'll just put it in that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. I mean, not for me, it sounds terrifying, but yes, I'll do it.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get to the bottom of me.
Please.
Right?
Let's.
Enough already. Oh, shit.
Let's get to the bottom of the story.
What is it?
You know I did LSD therapy.
Yeah?
Wait. So
wow, I did MDMA therapy.
Well, I know, a lot, with a lot of chicks around. But
No,
LSD,
one time with a doctor.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yes. That's how LSD therapy began for me. Because
Yeah.
I did, I thought it was the most intense. It probably saved my life.
Okay, that fixed you.
Well, look.
Was that before
You're sitting
you had...
across from me. Am I fixed?
Yeah.
That
I think you
it
do
depends on who. I have a very, very good consciousness
You look
about what
great.
my life is about. But that was, yes, the transformation. And I know that ketamine is used in that way. I'm making fun of you. But I do know that it's used in very small doses to
Isn't it
help
funny
get
that
to the
drugs
bottom
can
and the
help
center
you-
of whatever your issue is. If you can get to that, own it, cure it, make it yours, that's why the addiction stops. Because you don't need to feed that negativity anymore, because you're lifting it up and out of your soul and releasing it and allowing you to take it as your strength, not as your weakness. And weakness is addiction, not your weakness, what you think is weak about you.
It's like a
You're
fart.
not weak, but what got hurt is weak. And
You gotta let it out.
Gotta let it out.
Yeah. It's like a
As
big
they say.
fart.
Because you don't talk enough.
You hold that in and it'll hurt, you know?
Yes, it will. Exactly.
Nothing more relieving than a giant fart.
I don't agree with that
Good.
necessarily.
I'm
but
so
it's
glad. That
something
was a trick, and you did not fall for it.
I didn't fall
I know
for
you
it.
don't fart.
I
Or
don't.
poo.
I didn't just agree. I don't just agree randomly.
No, I know.
I agree with a lot of things you say, but not that.
Very
There are
powerful,
better releases I've
driven,
had in my life than
intelligent
Big Fat
woman.
Fart.
Just a go for it kind of gal. We gotta go. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week because we'll just pump them out. We'll be back on this afternoon for another hour because it's never ending love and hate
Love
over
and
here
hate.
on Faction Talk. Thank you, guys.
Fucking awesome.